For an author, you sure have a lot of hang-ups about reading.
I'm good at writing, not reading.
Okay, but...
Listen, I'm just always more of a listener.
What up, everyone? This is the least famous Ryan.
Yes.
And we've decided to do this special little thing. We started this podcast to, in part, promote Ryan's book that he has written and his other book that he's written, too. And what we realize is there probably needs to be an audiobook because lots of people don't read physical books anymore. So we've decided to do kind of like an audiobook reading here, but where Ryan's going to read his book. But if I have any questions for him or just kind of want to interrupt him for no reason just to piss him off, I can also do that. And I don't know why he's wearing sunglasses right now.
I'm nervous. They'll see me.
It's a camera. They saw you on the other ones. You ain't had sunglasses on the other ones.
But there's inappropriate stuff in here, and if I read it, they're gonna say like,
we talked about masturbating in the kitchen in one of our bits, and you didn't have sunglasses on. There ain't no masturbation and no kitchens in that book, is there? Is there?
Oh no, they're in a bedroom, but they're not masturbating there.
Yeah, that bit was filmed, but we had to postpone the episode, so you'll probably see that in December or January. Ryan's going to start, and I've got my copy here too. I'm going to follow along.
Why do you have a copy if I'm supposed to reading to you?
I'm just going to follow along while you're reading.
But like, how are you going to take a nap? I thought you're supposed to lay down.
I'm not going to take a nap.
Like I read you and like you go to sleep and you go like, thanks.
Like a bedtime story?
Yeah.
Ryan, I know you have a lot of kids, but I'm not one of them. I'd prefer to follow along when I'm being read to.
Okay, well that's the first edition book, so that one's a little bit different, but it should still be about.
Is the content different, or
no,
just
about
the cover?
Just the cover, and I probably like made it a little bit. What's it called when you like edit it? So how does this stuff work? So like, do I read the introduction and acknowledgments, or can I just skip that stuff and just go like...
You can skip that stuff.
Cool. So, hey guys, I'm Ryan Reed, author Ryan Reed. This is my book, Khaos Unleashed, Awakening Chaos. What's next?
They're not like hard of hearing. You don't have to slow it down as if they don't understand what authors and books are.
All right, so yes, Khaos Unleashed, Awakening Chaos by Ryan Reed.
Oh, and you have to do the voices.
That's
if
me.
Characters talk, you have to do the voices.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Just making sure, because like this would be all for nothing if you're not going to do all the voices.
Of course.
This better be Emmy-worthy stuff, Ryan.
Of course. Joke's on him. Chapter 1 doesn't have voices.
Damn it.
A dark red night set on the planet Vescora as it hit its temperatures. Kyrna, a warrior of the Vescorian, had been left alone, lying in the middle of the scarlet, snow-soaked ground. She thought she had won the battle, but at what cost? She was surrounded by the cold, iced-over bodies, the last remnants of her people, the Valazians. Kyrna quickly realized she was the last survivor, not just of her clan, but of the war that had finally reached its end. She was fading in and out from the pain of the scorched stab wound at the center of her stomach, right above her belly button. I'm sorry, this is silly sometimes.
At first, you had like no emotion at all. It sounded like the most monotone teacher I ever had in middle school. It sounded like you were about to just start reading a math textbook to us. There was no like emotion, but then you were like, "But at what cost?" And I was like, "Okay, he's warming up. He's warming up."
She was fading in and out from the pain of the scorched stab wound at the center of her stomach, right above her belly button, sure to leave a scar.
Sure to leave a scar. Is that the tone that she Did she look at her knife wound and go,
this is
sure to leave a scar. Cha cha cha.
She awoke on the snow-covered ground. Kieran's race of warrior people had a high tolerance to the cold, keeping her alive in the freezing temperatures. She regained her enough strength to help herself from the villa where she did. She regained enough strength to help herself from the villa where she laid next to the field of bodies, enemy and friend. I should rewrite this. Leaving it felt as if a dark shadow was cast upon her home. She reached her home where no one would be waiting and sloppily tended to her wound. Kieran donned her gear and armed herself, then headed out for a journey away from her past, her home, her political ties, and even her happiest memories. Several days passed as Kieran journeyed through the thick and blowing snow. Vascora was a small planet among other moons, with close to little chance of space travel. The planet was always snowing, with a field of frost cherries pungently smelling across the mountain ranges. It had natural hot springs, lakes, and rivers, but no oceans.
Okay, wait, so I like that you felt the need to tell. You've mentioned the snow so many times already, but like the way you mention it, like her race of warrior people had a high tolerance to the cold, but now you're telling us that it's snowing all the time on the planet. So shouldn't every race of being on this planet have high tolerance to the cold?
Yeah, we talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
But like, you need to know that I guess.
I need to know that right now. Okay.
Villages and different clans were spread throughout.
It's got to be clear. You can't be like laughing. We're doing the audiobook right now, man.
Villages and different clans were spread throughout the world in 4 regions with 4 variant species, but no large populations had gathered, leaving them with limited technological growth. A choice among many of the leaders, helping to prevent the individual's thirst and need for war.
What? Wait. How does limited technological growth prevent the individual's thirst and need for war?
Because, like, there's no, like, social media, so, like, there's, like, it just helps.
What does that have to do with thirst?
Well, like, not, like, thirst, like, you're thirsty.
Like, thirst trap. I mean, no, I understand that it is preventing the individual's...
I like that answer, thirst traps.
It prevents the individual's need for thirst traps on social media, because there is no social media.
Yeah.
But what about literal thirst?
So imagine, like, a world where...
Oh, so you're saying the leaders focused on preventing thirst and need for war instead of technological growth. That's
so instead of it being super like sci-fi, imagine it being like closer to, you have like a nice little village that's small that it's not. Imagine what are those people? The Amish.
Okay.
Imagine like Amish people.
So she's a warrior.
Limited technological growth. Or like imagine elves, like Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Like they have their society, they have their world. They don't have a lot of technological.
You wrote it. Can you say?
Bro, I don't know. They don't have a lot of technology. They don't have a lot of technology.
Okay.
I'm like trying to say both words. Okay. They don't have a lot of technology, but they still have their civilization. They still have their regular like rules and regulation. They're still pretty much like their hive of everything.
Okay.
Does that make more sense?
Yes.
I mean, does it not make sense?
They're like a warrior race. They're a warrior race of Amish people. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Imagine like
Amish in space. Like
a Wonder Woman.
That should be the tagline for the book. Amish in space.
Oh fuck, that can be a cool book.
Be a cool book. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
The snow had finally melted, but it had already worn her down. She was dehydrated and famished as she located a stream of water flowing up a hill. She quickly stripped herself of her armor and gulped the water as it trickled down her bare body.
Wait, so the rivers flow up the hill. I know because we talked about this before.
This river is
that was on purpose.
Hill, yes.
You want the rivers on this planet to flow uphill.
This specific river.
This specific river. Okay, but when she gulps the water, it still trickles down her body.
Because the water itself is not polarized. It's the stream of where it's taking it.
Okay. Because that would be a huge plot hole. She should be putting that water on her knees and letting it trickle up her body.
The stream itself is connected into why it's motioning upwards, not the water itself. So the water itself is just by itself.
Good.
That is not technically polarized to be going
good.
The opposite.
Because that would also pose a lot of weird biological questions. Like, if the water's always going to flow uphill, it flows uphill, up body, or whatever you're pouring it down.
Your mouth, yes.
Yeah, you'd have to pee out of your mouth.
So your tears become your pee, and your pee becomes your tears, yes.
So that's not how this planet works.
It's not how it works.
Cool. Just making sure.
She had no idea where she was and could not reach another village. She was desperate. Karina cleaned herself and followed the flow of water, hoping to find a suitable place to sleep and hunt for her next meal. Tracking the water source, she stumbled into the scenic area full of beautiful flowers and shimmering lights repelling from the water. The colors of the plants and flowers were mysterious and unlike anything she had ever seen on her planet, full of vibrant colors. Following the water, she entered a cavern with a reservoir underneath a waterfall. The stream of water rapidly flowed upward farther than she could see. The strange sparkling water illuminated the dark cavern while flowing through the flowers, making their already vibrant colors glow with such glory it enticed her to pause. She heard a creature drinking the water and crouched into a stealth position so as to not frighten it. However, she saw a strange, large beast with horns, which were the length of its body. Hungry and confused, she unsheathed her sword to kill and eat the creature. Karina got close enough to feel it become aware of her presence. As she was about to strike it down, it turned and impaled Karina in the same stomach wound, reopening it.
Damn.
She dropped her sword as the creature lifted her on its horn.
Oh my gosh, so the horn went all the way through?
It went all the way through.
Okay.
The creature stood high on its 6 legs. Its skin was pitch black with large bright blue eyes sparkling like the water, as its multiple incredibly long horns branched from its head.
That's terrifying.
She saw a crack on the groove of the horn impaling her, and with her remaining strength, she grabbed the dagger from her side and jammed it into the opening, breaking off the horn as she fell into the reservoir.
Hell yeah.
Half conscious and trying to swim to the surface, Karina felt the current drawing her body toward the waterfall. The water swiftly took her impaled body.
Nice.
End of chapter 1.
End of chapter 1. So that was 3 pages. You're already leaving us on a cliffhanger. Hell yeah, man.
Is that how cliffhangers work?
Well, a cliffhanger is just like something suspenseful for your, like, what's going to happen to her. So, cool. So she's half conscious, she's drowning, and the waterfall's taking her somewhere where we don't even know. We just know it's taking her upward.
It's taking her upward. So, like, so that's what I was doing. Like, the waterfall itself was flowing upward instead of flowing down. So, like, the cavern itself was, like, supposed to be, like, a mysterical cavern.
Yeah.
And the water was flowing outside of it. So her seeing the stream was already, like, kind of... The water's already taken it outside of a place where it should have gone. So, like, it was going to stop at one point.
Yeah.
So...
It's pretty sick, dude. I'd like to see that as a movie, too. How they would have to figure out how to make the water do that.
I mean, depending on what they're doing, all they have to do, I would say they would just have to reverse it, wouldn't they? Just like film it going one way and then just have it go backwards.
But she would be in it, so they'd have to film the whole scene backwards, I guess.
Yeah, so how it would be is if she was falling down the waterfall, her head would be kind of facing down, so you would have her like, you would be holding her with some type of like straps or something.
Yeah.
She would go down the waterfall kind of backwards, but like forwards, but like acting if she's going backwards.
Yeah.
And then she'll land, and then she'll have to, someone's probably underwater holding her too, but she'll probably
I
swim.
would hope so. I would hope she's not actually bleeding out in the water regardless of which direction she's going.
Then yeah, I feel like that would be a cool way of, that would be a cool way of just filming it backwards, like making it, doing that. That would be cool.
Hell yeah. Well, everyone, that was the first chapter of Khaos Unleashed, Awakening Chaos. We're going to keep doing this.
Sorry, guys.
Well, maybe in the future we can get other people to come on reading, but I think you did a good job.
No, I feel like that would be better.
And you didn't lose your shit when I interrupted you a bunch of times, so like that's good.
Well, I mean, I want people to ask me questions. Nobody ever asks me questions about.
It's like
the
a
stuff
feedback.
I write.
This is like an audiobook rehearsal. So obviously, when you do the real audiobook, you're not going to have me being an asshole jumping in.
No, I mean, I need
picking apart the logic of your world.
I need someone to do that because nobody has.
Why?
Because I enjoy those conversations. Because
but you're an author now, Ryan. You're supposed to be pretentious. You're supposed to be like,
no.
Oh, you don't understand the gravity of what was the planet called again?
Feliosa. I should never, as someone that's
fallaciosa.
Does that happen in this book? Maybe.
Does it?
Maybe.
Fuck yeah! Just tell us which chapter. That way everyone can tune in for that one.
4 and 7.
Well, okay, so when we record these, when we upload them, we'll put little notes in the title. It'll be like Chapter 4, the Fellatio chapter. And then we'll get more viewers.
Nobody, as I'm someone that enjoys the conversation part. So picking this apart, I feel like I've covered everything. So if you were able to challenge me and say, well, Ryan, let's talk about this. I find it to be a fun game if I can defend whatever I'm doing. It's being a lawyer would be fun.
Would be fun?
Yeah, because then like they're like, oh well, this person did this, defend it. Well,
yeah. I mean, it'd be fun, but you also have to go to school for a long time to do that. Because it requires a lot of work, and you have to know the law in order to defend that.
Isn't it just like reasonable doubt? So like as long as I get them to think of the other situation it can happen.
I think it's a lot more complicated than that, and that's why lawyers are so expensive.
So how about this? Like let's say like, can I start a law firm without me being a lawyer, but then like I work with the lawyers and I say, hey guys, I have ideas. Like you guys know like all like the law stuff, and
you're just like a consultant.
Can I be like the boss consultant without being a lawyer?
You're what would you even call that? Like a surprise witness. You're a surprise witness consultant. You think of the things that the lawyer's not going to think of, just so you can shock the prosecution.
Well, you said surprise witness, so like now I'm thinking like I'm just making up shit. Like I'm like that person in the neighborhood. It's like, yeah, man, I seen that shit.
Yeah,
I got stabbed too.
Yeah, that's man, like the ultimate package. That's what you charge for, so they can pay you even more money, and you can be a surprise witness. And you'll get shut down immediately for perjury or for obstruction of justice or whatever they would call it. I need to tell you, my friend called me the other day. They were playing some game, I think it was Scattergories, and they needed a book title that started with K. And she couldn't think of anything on the spot except for Khaos Unleashed. So regardless of how many copies this book sells, regardless of how many people keep listening to this audiobook form that we're trying to do here, exactly, you've done your part because you won that game of Scattergories from my friend Karen. So Karen, we appreciate it.
Can we call Karen?
Huh?
Can we call Karen?
No, not right now.
Oh.
No. She didn't agree to that.
Can we text
I'm not
her?
putting her on the spot like that.
Can we text her and be like, thank you, Karen?
Well, I told her thank you already. I had a more explosive, happy reaction to it than you just did. Like, I was jumping
oh my god, what?
Yeah.
That's so amazing!
I was jumping up and down. I was like, yeah! Ryan won the fucking game for you! Let's go! Let's go, Karen! And Ryan's just like, oh, cool! I did my part!
You've seen SNL, right?
Of
Do you know, like, when
course.
Pete Davidson plays, I can't remember the name, is Chad, I think.
Yeah.
Where he's like, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. That's how I feel about life. I feel like that happens to me a lot. I'm just like, cool. And then just move on. Is that ADD?
What if this book... I think it's lack of will to live.
Oh.
No. What if this book goes on the #1 New York bestseller list?
You're going to see me on the news and I'll be like, cool.
No, you wouldn't. Don't even fucking lie.
I'll say that's pretty awesome, dude.
No, you would be freaking out, and then you would be interrupting the Today Show hosts and talking about how, Shaq, if you're listening right now, come let me know if you're actually my father. You'd go crazy. I know it.
I wouldn't go crazy if I'm already crazy.
That's some poignant shit. That's the author Ryan Reed talking right there, everyone. So if you ain't got your book yet, it's called Khaos Unleashed, Awakening Chaos. You can follow along with this series, these episodes that we'll be doing here and there. But if you just can't wait and you got to read the book yourself, or if you're like me and you want to follow along while we're reading it instead of feeling like you're one of Ryan's children getting a bedtime story read
and
to
you want practice reading my book, that would be really awesome.
Yeah, if you can actually read, hit us up for the real audiobook, because Ryan fucking hates this. I had to really beg him to do this. So thank you, Ryan. Thank you, everyone watching. If you have any feedback in the comments or any questions about the planet Fallaciosa, let us know. Fallaciosa. Let us know in the comments.
Technically, it is a planet where a lot of things happen. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Unleashing all that chaos right on your face.
That was inappropriate.
Exactly. I am inappropriate. I'm Triple P, bitch.
You're coming in out of 10. You're coming in out of 10. Where is there a part? Passionately kissing, they landed on the bed. Draenus removed her clothes slowly as he was undressing himself with her help. He kissed her from behind the neck toward the middle of her chest, removing clothing as he kissed further down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're done.
You can find both of Ryan's books at the Amazon link in the episode description, and make sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at The Least Famous Ryan and Bailey Plus Comedy. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Our next episode is going to be a Thanksgiving special with sketch comedian Matt Tabor, plus a raunchy Thanksgiving-themed rap song from my alter ego Triple P. You're in for a wild ride. See you next time.